welcome to Influence. I'm Jessica Graves, your host. This is a show all about the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and I'm so excited about today's episode. First, Dr. Fox, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you formally introduce yourself, tell the audience a little bit about who you are, what your academic background is.
I'm Amelia Fox. I'm in the College of Ag and Life Sciences, Plant and Soil Sciences, and we offer aeronautical training there. We teach students not only how to fly aircraft and get Part 107 certified, both fixed wing and rotocopter, but we also teach them how to build the rotocopter so they can use them in agriculture research for graduate school.
How exciting.
It is.
Okay.
It's very exciting.
Mr. Eric Wyndham, welcome. Eric, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from.
Okay. My name's Eric Wyndham. I'm from Northeast Louisiana. I am an agronomy student. I'm a sophomore this year at State, and I am one of the pilot trainers for Dr. Amelia's Ag Flight Tech class.
Awesome, and we're going to hear a little bit more about that in a few moments. So, Dr. Fox, why don't you tell us first about the class that you offer and kind of set the stage so that folks kind of know really what we're here to talk about today.
Sure. We have 3 flight classes. The first one is Part 107 certification through the FAA, so people can legally fly. We teach fixed and rotocopter flight in that class. The advanced class teaches commercial crop sensing through commercial aircraft, whereas this is a recreational aircraft, this is a commercial aircraft. And then finally the third class actually teaches students to build these through parts that they might pick up on eBay and Amazon. They just build them from scratch.
Yeah. And what kind of students do you typically have in these classes?
We're now expanding across the university. We'll take students from any department, but we still need to serve the CALS students. The forestry students are a new one to us because they need to fly first-person view, special flight mechanisms. We take them from anywhere, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Eric, you are a student in this program and have a passion for flying, as I understand it. How did you get involved with kind of the desire to fly unmanned aircraft?
Honestly, Ms. Graves, it started at a young age when I was younger. I started flying. My dad took me to the first air show that I ever went to. And from there, my passion for flight started. I started young flying small RC helicopters, small RC planes, and I just loved it. And when I got over here to State, I wasn't in a specific major that I wanted to go into. And so I did some looking around and found my way to Dr. Fox, and she has just took me on a roller coaster ride of just fun.
And we mentioned it earlier, but you're kind of in a train the trainer situation. So you have quite a bit of flight time under your belt and are now able to assist in training others. Tell us a little bit about that.
So in Dr. Fox's class, we start off on the fixed-winged aircraft and eventually move up to the rotocopters, just because fixed wing is a little more difficult to learn than the rotocopters, and all of aviation future unmanned flight will eventually move to fixed wing. And so it's definitely a challenge. It's a lot harder than you would expect it to be. But it's very, very fun. I love a challenge, and Dr. Fox, she pushes you to your limits. So.
That's awesome. Dr. Fox, will you tell us a little bit about some of your research endeavors as it relates to using unmanned aircraft?
Right now across the United States, flight training is very elite. Those that qualify because they just look easy, like they can fly, they can do it, they tend to go up the ranks quickly. But my research has shown that there's populations of individuals that are hidden in a very quiet cluster, and we learn quickly to classify our students as high risk taking and low risk taking, and then push both populations towards the center. We call this neurodivergent. We find that students tend to be diverged for either high risk taking, low risk taking, and then we very, very slowly find their skills, push them forward. The interesting thing about our training is we teach simulation training first. So my students meet me online in WebEx on a simulator that they're broadcasting to me. I get an idea how well they fly, what they need to do, what they need to change. And then by the time they sign off their simulator skills, they can go out into the field and we have them flying, taking off and landing by themselves within 2 hours.
That is so cool.
As opposed to 2 months or 3 months. If you had to just take them to the field only, It would take 2 or 3 months to train them. We can get them out after 5, 6, 7 hours on the simulator. We can get them out, taking off and landing on their own right away.
Awesome. And as a social scientist these days, I really appreciate kind of the human component of some of that research that you do. I think oftentimes in the hard sciences, we don't often merge our research with the human element, if you will, and so I definitely appreciate that piece of it being brought in. Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe what your future is with unmanned aircraft? Like you're a sophomore, and so you got a little bit of time under your belt, and perhaps this is the million-dollar question, but what do you think the future holds for you in this field?
Honestly, so my hope is, I'm an agronomy major, and the thing with these aircraft and stuff is that there's so many applications, especially in the agricultural world, with them. And in my community back at home, with some of these aircraft, you can put special sensors on them, detect reflectance of light, and from that you can detect all kinds of things like yield and other aspects within the crop, problems within the crop. And so I hope to eventually take that back home and maybe apply it to my community and help the farmers around there.
That's awesome.
And of course, I would love to get my man license.
Yeah.
And get up.
We were talking off set earlier. I would love to do the same, but we'll see if I get there one day. Well, let's talk a little bit about, Dr. Fox, kind of alluding to what the future holds using this type of technology in agriculture. We've seen technology advance very rapidly over the last probably 10 to 15 years, and we now have the ability to use these types of technology. As an animal scientist by training, we use them in the feed yards and use them just for herd checks, if you will. So talk about maybe what you see for the future of unmanned aircraft being used in agriculture.
Sure. The possibilities are endless, and that makes the field too broad. So there is a lot of good research going on in Mississippi State under Dr. Dodds and Angus Ketchote and others looking at unique applications, so sprayer drones. There's an issue. Water weight is heavy, hard to carry that. Gene Merkel has a bug catcher drone, which is fascinating. The possibilities are endless. So the research is needed to narrow down and find out if any of these applications are actually realistic. Honestly, I could argue that and this would be Eric's field of expertise, his family were crop dusters. Crop dusters can do 200 acres for $7 an acre. An unmanned drone is going to cost about $20 an acre, and it can do 10 to 20 acres an hour. So the limitations are weight and energy, power, and regulations. What the answers are, I don't know. I'm more interested in the social side of it, but individuals like Eric can take this training, go up manned, and then join other ranks and corps inside of Mississippi State at RASPIT, at GRI, fly the Gulf, fly the Tiger Sharks at the 10,000, fly the Taros up at 24,000. We really have students that do that. They make great money advancing up into the ranks. And that's really my hope, is just to help students that want to do something do it better.
And we've seen a little bit more of a diverse population. You kind of referenced this earlier in taking care of our cows, students first, if you will, but then really expanding the opportunities across campus. And we do a lot of interdisciplinary research, or we've got colleagues across campus that could also utilize this type of technology, and perhaps that training's not offered in their home department. So we're really reaching a community beyond just that agricultural population. I don't know, do you have anything maybe to add in what you see as a future, or maybe some challenges perhaps?
I don't really know, honestly. I would honestly say, though, that I could see a very heavy unmanned presence here at State. It's got every opportunity to, and I'm really excited, especially working with Dr. Fox, to see how far it goes, especially in my next few years here at college.
I'm really excited for him, but I'm going to lose him in a year because he'll become so valuable. This has happened to me every time I work with a trainer student. Within a year, they become highly valuable. For instance, we have a storm going off in Florida, but if it happened in the Gulf, our people are going to have to, somebody has to fly these areas for damage. We take a person like yourself that's well trained, ready to go up to the next level, and they need to go. So I don't hold them back. I want the students to go up. It's heartbreaking for me, but I still get to go out every morning at the crack of dawn and teach, and that's what my happy place is.
Yeah.
It's definitely my happy place. Challenges for the industry itself, the prediction is that all aircraft will become what's called VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing. So instead of having a runway to take off and land on this fixed wing aircraft, it'll actually go up, hover and go, whereas this one already hovers and goes, but it doesn't have any long-term lift because it lacks wings. So it's very possible that these aircraft will continue to change and merge in shape and size. We'll deal with that when we get there. The most important thing is getting enough pilots. There is such a shortage of pilots. The university, I think, could take any pilot that's trained and Part 107 certified, knows what they're doing, and put them in a graduate program. I don't think there would ever be a way to fill all the billets for flying.
And again, back to the diversity in how that skill set could be applied to so many different programs of study, from agriculture to
geosciences, aerospace, business, cinematography, arts and sciences, cinematography. Yeah. We're just getting students off the ground and serving cows, but we are welcoming everyone. But our classes are always full.
Yeah, awesome. Well, quickly, we've only got a couple of more minutes. Could you tell me, Eric, a little bit about the difference? Obviously, there's some aesthetical differences here, but tell us a little bit about the difference in these two aircraft.
All right. Well, so this right here is what we consider a fixed wing aircraft. It's got the wings ahead of it, and it's pulled through the air, while this one is lifted through the air. This is a commercial copter. The one at the front, that's more of a trainer, more recreational. In our class, we start with fixed wing first, and this is a more advanced fixed wing. This is an acrobatic plane, so this one's a little more fun to fly, a little more dangerous to fly, easy to crash.
Nose.
No, yep. The little quadcopter up there, that is, I guess you could say, the little brother to this one right here, and it's fun to fly. It's easy to learn. We start with this one just because of how difficult it is. It's very intimidating when you first get in the air flying it. Yeah. So this is a more commercial craft. They use this to fly the fields here at State, and just neat aircraft to be around and fly with. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate both of you for spending a little time with us today. This is, again, kind of a very unusual episode. We don't typically have this kind of props, if you will, but I appreciate you both taking some time out of your day and sharing this with us. And hopefully we'll see you again, and you'll get some students in class, and you'll have some new trainees soon.
Thank you for having us.
All right, well, that's going to do us for this episode of Influence. I hope to see you back next time.